Hello and welcome back. My name is Giovanna, and this is part 4 of my summer piano review series. Whether you are an older beginner or a younger one, this series is for you. Now, in our previous videos, we covered where our notes are located on the piano keyboard, and we went over our memory phrases to help us read where the notes are on our sheet music. Then we also talked about the 4 basic types of notes that pianists work with: your quarter note, your half note, your dotted half note, and your whole note. So today, we're going to try and bring all of that together and attempt to read a piece of sheet music. Today, I have a copy of Mary Had a Little Lamb, a song that most, if not all of my audience is probably familiar with. So, let's give it a try together, shall we? Alright, so here's our sheet music for today, Mary Had a Little Lamb. Now, before we get into this, I want you to make sure you have a piece of paper with you. If you're able to print off a copy of Mary Had a Little Lamb, you certainly can do that, but for now, a piece of paper is good enough. What we are going to be doing is going through note by note and using our memory phrases to figure out what each note is on the staff. And then you're going to write that note underneath it. Now, I want you to make sure that you don't become reliant on this. Use this as a learning tool, because the more often you do this and you think yourself through every step of the process, your recall is going to speed up every single time. It won't happen right away, but the more you do it and you follow every step, you will learn it. Don't try to guess. That won't help you. Believe me, I know. Now, let's get into the sheet music, shall we? So as you can see here, the time signature is in 4/4 time, or common time. So all of the rules I went over in our previous video are going to apply here. Let's start with our first measure in the treble clef. So if you remember from I think 2 videos ago, the treble clef memory phrases for treble clef lines are one of 2 things. You can either say, "Every good boy does fine," or "Every good boy deserves fudge." And then the memory phrase for treble clef spaces is spelled F-A-C-E. The word face, your lovely face. Now, let's start with the first note. If we follow our memory phrase, "Every good boy deserves fudge" from bottom to top, our first word is every. All right, so because we're on the bottom line, that means this first note is E. Go on ahead and write that on your paper. Let's move on to the next note. Uh-oh, this one isn't on the staff. What do we do? Well, let's follow our alphabet. What letter comes before E in the alphabet? A, B, C, D, E. D. So this note is a D. Go on ahead and write that underneath. Oh, and here we go. It's our most important note that I want all of my students to know. This note on a floating ledger line, as it's called, is middle C. If you can remember where middle C is located in your sheet music, it'll help you figure out everything else. So don't forget it. Let's move one more to the right. Oh, we're going back up one note. And if you look at your sheet music, you already wrote this note down before. D. It's D again. All right, now that we've done that first measure together, I want you to go on ahead and try to fill out the rest of the treble clef notes by yourself. Come back in a moment and we'll see if you were correct. All right, welcome back. Now, let's take a look at our sheet music and see if you were correct. Here's all the letters filled in for you. All right, if you did it correctly, congratulations to you. If you made some mistakes, that's okay. You can try again another time. Practice doesn't necessarily make perfect, but it makes progress, and you'll get there. But now, let's move on to our bass clef, shall we? In our first measure of bass clef, we have 2 notes here. So let's go through our memory phrases. For bass clef lines, we have 2 options. Good boys deserve fudge always, or good boys do fine always. And then for bass clef spaces, we have some funny ones. All cows eat grass, or all cars eat gas. Have fun deciding which one you prefer. If we're looking here, we see that our first note here is in a space. So we have to use our space memory phrase. All cows eat grass or all cars eat gas. So starting from the bottom, all cows. C, that note is a C. So go on ahead and write C on your paper. Now let's look at the note right next door to it. This one is on the bottom line. So let's go with our line memory phrase. Good boys do fine always, or good boys deserve fudge always. Good. G, that's our note name. So go on ahead and write that on your piece of paper. Now that we've done this first measure together, how about you go on ahead and try to do the rest of the measures on your own? Come back in a minute and we'll see if you're correct. All right, welcome back. Let's take a look. So here are all the notes filled in for you for bass clef. Did you get these ones right? If you did, I'm happy for you. If you didn't, that's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. Just keep practicing this and you'll get there eventually. All right, now that we've written out our note names, let's take a look at our sheet music here again. If you see all of those notes with the black note heads filled in, those are quarter notes. The ones that have a stem and an open oval at the bottom that's not filled in, those are half notes. If you remember the difference, your quarter notes are worth 1 beat and your half notes are worth 2. And then all the way at the very end of your sheet music, you have an empty oval note head without a stem. That's a whole note worth 4 beats, or 4 counts. Let's take a look at this, shall we? If we're starting with just our treble clef, we play this with our right hand. So I'm going to place my thumb on middle C, and I'm going to start this off by playing E with my middle finger. That is so that I don't have to move my hand too much. I always like to say, you want to play as lazily as possible. What do I mean by that? You want to move your hand as little as possible. Don't make things harder on yourself. So once again, we'll start this out, and I'll play all the way through to the end. Now, even if you're not a singer, if you're familiar with the tune, hum it to yourself or sing it while you're doing it, because that will help you keep track of when you're supposed to hold for a half note and when you're supposed to not do that for a quarter note, because that's something a lot of students will have a problem with. And that's okay. Another option that you can use is either using a metronome or by tapping with your foot, keeping a consistent rhythm going 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's look at our bass clef now. As you can see here, most of the notes in your bass clef are written as half notes. So these are each going to be worth 2 counts. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. If it helps you to keep track of what notes you want to play at the same time, you can draw lines. I find that helps me because I'm a very visual person. But if you don't think it will help you, you don't have to worry about it. Now, as you can see, this is the first C underneath that middle C we were playing earlier, right? So we're going to play on our piano keyboard the first C that we come across to the left of it, which is C3. Now, how about you give both of them a try? You can start with each hand separately, and then in a moment, once you feel comfortable with that, I'll demonstrate playing them together, and then you can give it a try. Hello and welcome back. I will now demonstrate playing this with both hands. Alright, now how about you give it a try? And if you want, you can go back and play with me. I'll see you in a few minutes. Alright, how do you feel about that? If you're unsure about it, feel free to keep practicing Marietta Little Lamb. And next time, we'll start going over rests. I'll see you then. Ciao, ciao!